Welcome to Flashback Tracks. Travel back in time each Friday to an era of big hair, leg warmers, and Walkmans.
Far out.
Veg out with some clips from Downtime Broadcasting's promotional audio cassette magazine from the 80s and 90s, right here on the World Wide Web.
The following article, excerpted with permission of Target Marketing Magazine, copyright June 1988, and is entitled, Plastic Cards Sharpen Their Edges.
Traditionally, plastic cards have packed an extra wallop as marketing tools. Promotions that included them worked because consumers read the cards and kept them around. The psychology behind using a plastic card is that it gives consumers the feeling they're getting something of value, explains Matt Tepper, advertising director for Bertec, a leading plastic card manufacturer. However, the plastic cards have been losing some of their punch lately. As more and more marketers include these powerful little pieces of plastic in their mailings, consumers are becoming less likely to respond to a promotion simply because the card is part of the pitch. Now that there is an overabundance of cards reaching consumers, marketers are trying to do things that stand out, Bertec's Tepper adds. Marketers and card manufacturers both are seeking innovative ways to make the cards work within an overall marketing framework.
The uses of plastic cards have been divided along promotional and transactional lines. On the promotion side, the cards were used to solicit membership, raise funds, and generate new business. On the transaction side, the cards were generally used by consumers to make purchases or conduct banking transactions. From a marketing standpoint, promotional cards held the attraction of packing more punch than paper, grabbing consumer attention rather than asking for it. By including plastic in the mail program, you gave the consumer something to hold on to, so that 6 months down the road, that consumer was going to be reminded of the mail campaign, notes Alan Meixner, Vice President of Pilgrim Plastic Products. In a traditional paper-based campaign, a week later, nobody remembered the package. However, as consumers were inundated with promotional cards, they became less inclined to hang on to every card they received. I'd say a good percentage of promotional cards get looked at, stay on someone's desk for a day, and then they're given to the kids or thrown away, says Tepper. And it's simply because there's no use for most promotional cards.
In an attempt to make the cards more attractive to consumers, marketers and manufacturers have begun to draw on the hooks normally associated with transactional cards. The combination of promotional and utilitarian cards is starting to become much more common, says Bertec President Arthur Berman. People are opting for promotional cards that allow consumers to use them for something. Marketers are taking a number of different tacks on this theme. One New York radio station, for instance, uses a plastic card as part of a prize promotion that assigns listeners an identification number, which is imprinted on the card and asks its DJs to use the number when giving out prizes. A New York funeral parlor allows customers to prepay for their burials, whereupon they're given a plastic card which notifies out-of-towners where to ship their bodies in the event of their premature death. A California mortgage company offers a card that will verify a consumer's pre-qualification for a mortgage loan, thus allowing the consumer to buy a home on the spot without waiting days for credit approval.
More commonly, marketers include a piece of useful information on their cards to entice consumers to keep them. There is a new emphasis on creativity from an editorial standpoint, says Tepper. More promotional cards have begun to include medical information, measurement conversions, or calendars, the types of things that encourage consumers to hold on to them. Additionally, marketers have begun to attach magnetic tape to promotional cards, thereby allowing them to track consumer information and widen the scope of their promotions. Many hotels and casinos, for example, track in-house spending patterns and offer consumers free perks based on the amount of money they've spent. Several marketers have begun to tap into the traditional allure of transactional cards by utilizing affinity programs with banks. Increasingly, credit cards tout the slogans of associations or clubs and offer benefits based on those affiliations. As marketers have looked for new ways to use plastic cards, a new target audience for the cards is becoming apparent as well. Whereas plastic had once been considered the exclusive domain of insurance companies, banks, and the entertainment industry, now everyone is getting in on the act.
Part of the reason is price, says Hal Klein, marketing manager for the Faraday National Corporation, a plastic card personalization firm based in Herndon, Virginia. If you look at the cost of these bulk cards today as opposed to 3 years ago, you'll see that they cost half as much as they did then. This new blood in plastic card marketing has helped manufacturers offset the burden of postal hikes, which have caused some of their large clients to curtail their mailings. What we may have lost in volume from the larger accounts, we are picking up from a broader base of customers, says Jack Fenimore, Direct Marketing Sales Manager of Silcox Plastics International, a plastic card manufacturer in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. For everyone slowing down, there is someone new entering the arena. The fact that so many new marketers are looking to plastic cards as a promotional medium is a mixed blessing. On the downside, consumers will continue to be buried in an avalanche of plastic. On the upside, marketers and manufacturers will be forced to rely on creativity to give their packages more impact. Already, experimentation with foil printing, holograms, and metallic ink has started to spice up the appearance of the cards. Developments in computer technology have made transactional uses more accessible to promotional marketers and caused them to reassess the way the cards are used. That little piece of plastic is 7 square inches of very potent advertising space, concludes Berman. It's important for marketers to use that space well.
Travel back in time with us next Friday as we share more clips from the 80s and 90s on another rad episode of Flashback Tracks, exclusively on Promo Corner. Time to